everybody. Today I'm going to be doing the first video in a new series that I'm going to call Extreme Beauty here on my channel. And these are things that I do and that other people do on kind of a semi-regular basis to help with the beauty routine, but they're not things you do every single day. And they're things that some people may think are kind of extreme. They may be some things that, you've maybe never heard of before. But I just wanted to cover these. I want to talk about them because they're not things that should be hidden or, ashamed that we do. But these are things that I do to make my overall makeup and beauty appearance look better. So the first one I wanted to do today was talk about hair removal on the face. I was actually told about this first by a friend who informed me that she got her entire face waxed. And I was just so caught off guard. I had never heard of that. I had never thought to do that. I had never thought to take off all the hair off of my face. But she just said that she loved it. So I came home, and then a few weeks later, I booked myself an appointment and I got my face waxed. And I loved it. I loved the way my makeup looked. Like, people were telling me I looked flawless. I looked like a magazine cover. It just made this extremely smooth canvas for my makeup, and I loved the result. Fast forward a few years, I was put on a retin A prescription for acne, so I had to stop waxing my face because of the conflicts that you can have with retin A and waxing. So now I use hair removing creams. And like I said, I love waxing my face just as much. It's just not a possibility for me right now. The other thing I do sometimes between, taking everything off is just using one of these razors. And you can there's several videos on how to use these. I use these kind of in between for touch-ups. But today we are going to cover, actually completely removing all the hair off of our face. And so I am going to go ahead and get my headband on. So to do this, I highly recommend pulling all of your hair up and putting on some sort of headband to get all of your hair held back, because you don't want any of your hair getting accidentally removed that you want to keep. So I just push this back to the edge of my hairline. You could use a regular headband. I just really like the way this one holds my hair super, super tight. And right now, lately, I have been using these by Sally Hansen, either this one that comes in the squeeze tube, or I've also used this one that's the brush on. These actually aren't my favorite formula, but I'm no longer able to find my favorite in stores near me. Oil of Olay made one that had like a stick that you put on before that was kind of like a Vaseline. I can't find that one anymore. CVS had a dupe for it. The CVS dupe was even better. But like I said, I haven't been able to find it, so I've been using these. You absolutely want to make sure that you get one that says for face. Like this says brush on hair remover for face, and that's very important. Today, just because it's the one with the brush is just a little bit cleaner. It's not quite as messy because you don't have to get all over your fingers. And I'm just going to shake this up. And then you're going to just put it all over your face. I literally removed the hair from all over my face. I'm going to start around the lip because I've noticed that's the area that tends to take a little longer to get off. So I'm going to do that first. And then we're just literally going to, so see all of this like peachy fuzz hair. Like, it's not that it's dark, it just doesn't make for a very smooth canvas. And I actually find, and I don't think there's anything really to support this, if my skin's been a little problematic and I do this, I actually find that it helps kind of clear up my skin. I do not recommend doing this when you have any opened areas. If you do, you should avoid putting this on any open, acne or scabs or wounds that you have. That would not be good. So you want to be really careful around the hairline, not to get into the hair. and also around the brows. You want to be super careful because you don't want to get your eyebrows burn off. It's going to take them a while to grow back if that happens. You can always go in and fine tune and tweeze around your brows with your normal brow routine. So don't worry about getting too close there. Down the center. I'm going to go ahead and move over here to this side. So like I said, I've switched to this version of hair removal since I've been on Retin A, and it's really worked for me. You have to do that, well, you don't have to do this. I would say I find the need to redo this about once a month to every 6 weeks. I do sometimes touch up with a razor in between. I kind of wait till I feel like it's just really full grown and back before I do it again. You could do it more often. Got a little close to the hairline there. Just wipe it up real quick. And like I said, anywhere that you know is kind of an area that you want to be careful with, I think it's best to just stay a little ways away, and you can clean it up with a razor later. So just don't worry about it because you don't want to burn off some hair that you can't get back for a while. I also don't get very close to the eye. That's about as close as I get. I really don't have any facial hair up there, and I just don't want to risk this getting into my eye. So this is about as close as I get to the eye. And then you want to do your nose. Believe it or not, there's little hairs on your nose, most likely. And something that's important, make sure you get the bottom of your nose. It's really funny how you don't realize where you have hair until you remove all the other hair from your face, and then it stands out like a sore thumb. So, all over there. And then on your lip, I didn't explain this before, but I go ever so slightly over my lip line because you will notice, I mean, I don't want to get it far enough in that I would get it in my mouth, but just over the edge of the lip line, because there are hairs right there on the lip line for me. And like I said, you don't notice them until every other hair on your face is missing, and then they stand out really bad. Okay, this was kind of a learning lesson for me. You would think you just stop here, right? No, because when you remove the hair all the way up to here, all of a sudden this hair really stands out. So you always want to go just under the jawline. Okay, so now we are going to wait whatever the time is for the cream you've picked. Most of the time I'm going to say it's between 4 and 10 minutes. I have seen some that go up to 15 minutes. If you haven't done this before, I highly recommend taking it off on the lower end and kind of figuring out where your sweet spot is over the next few tries, because if you let it stay on too long, your face can get really irritated. So we are going to wait a few minutes, and then I'm going to wash my face off with cool water, and we'll be back. I have successfully wiped it all off. You do want to be very careful when you wipe it off, that you don't, push the cream into your hairline or into your eyelashes or your eyebrows. I just use a normal washcloth and some cool water. You will notice my face is a little flusher right now, so I'm going to apply, it comes with a calming cream, and I'm just going to apply that to the skin. Really any sort of calming cream will work. And this isn't necessary. I just like to give back to the skin because we've just kind of stripped it a little bit. And like I said, this actually doesn't irritate my skin other than a little redness right now. I don't break out from this at all. I actually think it helps with breakouts. Because of this redness, I do typically do this at night or on a day I'm not wearing makeup. I try to give my skin a few hours before I go applying makeup on top of it, kind of let the pores, I mean, this is all just like my theory. There's no science behind this, but I kind of think the pores need a chance to, calm back down a little bit before I put makeup on them. So I just put a calming cream on and then go about. Just do know that you will be a little red after you do this, so just plan accordingly. I'm actually getting ready to go to bed, so I'm going to go to bed. But now my skin, there is no little blonde hairs on my skin. And tomorrow my makeup is just going to go on perfectly. Super smooth. You're not going to see any of those little hairs in your makeup. If you are getting ready to do this before a special event, I would do this probably like 48 hours before a special event. I like to give the skin the first day. It's almost like super slick skin. Your makeup can almost like doesn't have anything to grab onto because there's like no, it almost feels like there's no dead skin cells, there's no hair. So if you're worried about longevity of makeup, not that it decreases it a whole lot, but I feel like it does just a little bit. So I would do this about at least 48 hours before a big special event. Just so in case there's any interactions. So don't do this for the first time before a special event. But if you do this and you like this method and you're doing a touch-up before, a photo shoot or a wedding, give yourself a couple days prior to do this. Don't do this just a few hours before. So I hope you guys like this. This is kind of one of my hidden secrets that doesn't get talked about in makeup tutorials, but I do think 100% really adds to the overall makeup look. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for spending some of your time with me. If you don't mind, I would really appreciate if you like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.